everyone. Hello, welcome back to Candid Coffee. The last time Fred and I did an episode type of thing together, it was for the Diaspora Diaries back in October. That was painful.
It was very painful.
But this time we're gonna lighten things up. Thank you for inviting me to your home. It's beautiful. We're smelting, but it's very nice.
It's about almost 100 degrees outside.
Yes. But we had to because we're gonna have coffee and cigars and do as the locals do here in Fred's backyard, which is, whiskey.
We got the whiskey. We have some Goliath coffee. Mm-hmm. See the Goliath Jezreel. And in my household, we leave. Which camera am I supposed to be looking at? No.
That one. There you go. Yeah.
And in my household, we leave the Jezreel on the table.
Okay.
I don't trust Armenians that take the Jezreel away. I'm like, what? You don't trust me? You don't leave the Jezreel on the table? So if I ever come over, leave the damn Jezreel on the table.
On the table when we serve. That's why we have to bring it from the kitchen. We have to remember to bring it from the kitchen for you.
And then this is my Armenian coffee mug.
I'm having a little one. Cheers.
Cheers.
Very good. Wow. So this was long overdue. I'm so happy to be here and just to feel like a friend at your house and not yes, and not be so uptight with certain things. But so here's a conspiracy theory for you, Fred.
Oh, we're starting off with conspiracy theory right off the bat, right
out
the gate.
For every backup account you have, there's a clone of Fred running that account.
Yeah.
Because I cannot imagine how you are a family man, have kids, a wife, a full-time career, and a full-time career online, doing what you do, whether it be funny things, serious things, always engaged. You're the most engaged person I know on Instagram. I don't know how you do it. You must have robots of yourself somewhere.
I wish I did. It's really, really hard. But like during the war, I was seriously going. Everyone was, going without sleep.
Yes.
But there were many nights where I would just not sleep at all. I would just push right through. Sun's coming up, birds are chirping, and I'm just coffee, living off of coffee, and so and that comes from my personality. I hate sleeping anyway. I'm not I sleep because I have to, not because I want to.
Because I sleep because I want to. I sneak in naps all the time.
I just think it's the biggest waste of time. You're literally just laying there, like doing like think about that.
Resting.
Your body is just like shutting down.
Yes.
From life. Like life is going on around you, and you
have
voluntarily.
fear of missing out.
Yeah, it's like not a fear of missing out. It's like I feel like I could be doing things.
You are all the time.
I always want to do something, and so that's, to answer your question, is, my mind's going like 1,000,000 miles a minute with thoughts and ideas, and so I literally will do like 5 things. I'll be in front of the computer, phone. I'm doing like literally 5 things at the same exact time. So I'm always go, and it just fits with my personality. I panic when I have nothing to do. Like when COVID first hit, but before the war, that time, business slowed down, and I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was going crazy.
Yeah, I feel like you think of things to say, memes, jokes, posts in the shower, when you're driving, when you're on the treadmill.
I get the idea, and then I'm just like, boop, let me,
and
I just make it. It just like they come, and then I just post it. That's it.
Crazy. I love. That you're such a objective person. You have posted things that are informative, funny, but also you're like the most level-headed guy, because you're giving us information all the time that is from a perspective of like, okay, here's something for you, and it's not like, oh, F that guy, or being so tense about certain things. You're always really chill, and I love that about you because you're very, very relatable. I feel like that's why you have such a huge following. And even though people may disagree with you sometimes, the majority of what you do is really wholesome and real, and
Thank you.
It's coming from a good place. I feel like it's not hostile.
Yeah, no, it is, and thank you for that. It truly is. I came into this with really no background in terms of activism or Armenianism, right? I've always been a proud Armenian,
Right.
but I grew up in the public school system. I didn't have many Armenian friends growing up. The Armenian friends I had were my cousins. Outside of that,
Right.
I didn't really have many Armenian friends.
What ignited that for you then?
Well, the passion for my love for Armenia and being Armenian is always there. My uncle, my dad's brother, God rest his soul, passed away. He's a hero of the first Artsakh War, and I don't use the word hero lightly. He was very instrumental in the first Artsakh War.
Nice.
I can show you some stuff off camera.
For sure.
But
I didn't know that.
He got the Heroes Medal, and every time I bring this up, I get all choked up. So, but I went to go visit.
Did he pass in the war?
No, he didn't pass in the war. He survived, and he got cancer in Armenia. And the Armenian government or whoever, the Armenian medical system or whatever it is, wouldn't treat him, and they wanted tons of money to do it, to treat his cancer.
Jeez.
And so, here you go. You have a literal hero, war hero here.
Veteran,
it's like you guys
yeah.
aren't going to give him like medical care. And so, because of that, and luckily he was born in France, so he had French citizenship.
So he went over
So
there.
he went to France where you can get medical care, and he passed away there. But while he was in France, I went to go visit him. Along with my cousin, we wanted to go visit him, and he was trying to give me his medal,
Aww.
and I didn't take it. I should have though, but I didn't. I want now. I'm like I should have taken it, but I felt bad for taking it. I was like, no, this is not mine. This is yours.
What'd you guys do with it?
I'm sure you gave it to my cousin, his daughter, or
Yeah.
But now just looking back, it's like I wish I had it.
Yeah.
But anyway, he passed. God rest his soul. He's a hero. There's a lot of men in Armenia that'll swear by his name.
Amazing.
So, yeah, but
I love that you're sharing that with us.
So that has always been instilled in me. He would come visit us here, and again, there's some stories I'll tell you off camera. But I remember, he would always get mad at me, and this is when I'm like 10, I think, or something like that, around that age, 10, 13. And he would always get mad, or at us in general, my dad and other Armenians that were living here, calling us Davachans, because we left Armenia, came here. He stayed, he's fighting. My mom would argue because my dad wanted to go back and fight and all this stuff.
Wow.
But I remember I got into an argument with him. He's saying, Amerikatsi startse, to me.
Yeah.
Shata Amerikatsi startse. And I had a philosophical argument with him. And then I was like, matter of fact, I told him this. I was like, this is the argument. I would argue that we're more Armenian here than you are over there. He goes, what are you talking? He got all mad. I'm like, here we're striving to keep what we came here with.
It.
You know, when we left in the 80s, communist Armenia, that mentality of Armenianism came with us.
Right.
And the incubator we created here with the local Armenian community.
Right.
We tried to maintain that. I go, whereas in Armenia, you guys are trying to be westernized. You're trying to speak English. You're trying to do that. You're trying to not be Armenian, right?
Yeah.
Because it's
or
not
speaking
cool.
Russian all the time.
Right, because it's not cool. You want to
right.
do, and we got in that philosophical argument. I remember that
That's
vividly.
very true. Yeah.
I remember that argument vividly. He was getting so pissed with me.
Because you're right.
Well, not because I'm right. You just, I always challenged adults,
Yeah.
in their thinking. You get frustrated with me.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But so God, that was such a tangent we went on.
It's okay. It's okay. I love that.
To answer your question, the Armenianism has always been in me. The pride has always been in me. I've just been raised in a whole different culture, which I think is what came in handy in this situation.
Right.
Right? My public school upbringing, the way I was raised, the mentality, the mental toughness, the tough skin that I've had to develop growing up in Pasadena during the early 90s, late 80s, right, comes in handy. So going back to how do you keep yourself cool? Growing up, if you were not able to keep yourself cool in these kind of situations, it gets used against you very quickly.
Oh yeah.
And so you have to always, that's what I've always, a survival tactic, you always have to remain cool. You don't show your emotion, because when you act off of emotion, you tend to make a decision that you regret later. And so
And we're all about emotions.
we're very emotional people. I'm an emotional person. I know people go, oh, you're calm. It's because you're
very
able to
calm,
see
yeah.
me after I've collected my thoughts.
Right, right. I think I've mentioned that to you before.
know,
I've said, you have such a calm demeanor.
Right.
You don't look like you have a calm demeanor. If I didn't know you, I was
It's
like,
different in person, right?
"Oh."
Like if
Yeah.
some of these conversations or things I've had to deal with are in person, I think you'll see a whole different side of me that hasn't come out. Where
Right.
when I do get, I'm a high stancy guy at the end of the day, but I've learned to check my emotions. I think a little bit better than other high stancy guys. So, and my degree is actually in psychology, and so I understand the thinking process that
Right,
happens.
Right.
And so I've always tried to bring that tool set to the people,
Of course.
right? And try to say, look, let's think about this way. Let's calm down and let's slow down and trying to provide that tool set. And I think the areas where I felt like we were lacking, trying to bring attention to it, which is the ongoing issue of division, right? The idea that us and them. We're Armenian. There's no us and them, right? At the end of the day, we all want what's best for Armenia. We all want what's best for each other.
Right.
Because we're so passionate and stubborn, unfortunately, we get into arguments, and then so we're so ready to write off a whole person because we disagree on this one thing.
Right, exactly.
Well, if you do that, you're going to be left with no one.
Marchiminalu, exactly.
Like, show me someone throughout your whole life where you've agreed with them on every single thing.
Of course.
You won't find one. And if you do, I bet you have a very boring relationship that you don't appreciate,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Growth happens when you challenge each other. So,
Exactly.
so I'm never offended with someone doesn't agree with me. Like, all right, cool, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about. Let's actually hungis
Yeah,
talk about
let's
it.
talk about it. Bring it up. Let's compare notes. But if I say I don't agree with that, and you go off and go off all crazy.
I feel like Armenians have, and again, when I say this, I love you. You're my people, but we have like two modes. Why havatanem doing chigideminchness? I love you. I see any or why did I maman boop 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 boop? It's like there's only two sides. There's no in the middle.
I'm going to argue with you with that. I'm going to say it's one side.
Oh, really? Is it worse?
No, I'll explain. I'm going to wait for the jet. I don't know how it's affecting them.
Yeah.
It comes from the same place, passion.
Yes.
Okay. So we are extremely passionate.
Yes. 100%.
So with that, all emotions come with that passion. When we love, we don't love
hard.
like, oh, you're so cute. Look at
Yeah.
you. Like utem kids,
Yeah,
you you bite the damn kids. You make them cry. Because you bite them so hard because
Yes. Yes.
you leave teeth marks on the
Yeah.
kids. The child services.
Child Protective Services shows up. Yeah.
But then when we get angry, it's that same fire, right? It's a
Yes,
fire. So
over the
whatever
top.
we feed, there we go. That's what I'm trying to say. When the same source, right? We have that fire, and whatever we throw in that fire, that's what's going to burn.
Right. Right.
Okay, and so we just have to learn to be cognizant on what we're throwing into that fire, because whatever we throw in, that's what's going to burn. If you throw in hate, we're going to be damn good at hating. Look at the cancel culture we have right now, which is extremely toxic, and I'm always trying to bring that back down. Like when the whole war started, like I remember I constantly would say, I'm never going to attack another Armenian.
Right. This is not the time.
No, not even not the time, ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Right? It's just attack.
We need to take that same
attack
thing.
the thought, attack the idea,
Right.
attack that, but don't even attack it, because look, let me go back to my point. I said I'm never going to attack another Armenian, and I repeated that over and over again. I've been attacked many, many times.
Yes.
If you've been following me, you know these instances.
Yes.
I've never singled out another Armenian and call them out or anything like that. One time I reposted something someone said about me, did not attack them. I just reposted and said that this makes me sad. And I regret doing that because they got attacked, which was not my intention. So I regret posting it.
Okay.
You know, I was just posting it like.
But then people who wanted to support you attacked
people
him.
that wanted to support me attacked them. I was like, guys,
Right.
no, that I don't want that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You know. But that incident, it just hurt me because it's like there's just assumptions being made as to my motives or I have an agenda. Like, talk to me. No, it's fine. You know, be skeptical, be all of that.
Yeah, I feel like we're too
But
skeptical.
I'm here.
Yeah, to talk to you, to tell
I'm
you.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you? And this is not just about me, but like,
ask
you
me.
have a problem with someone.
Yeah.
Ask them without trying to make it like this moment to grandstand. You know.
Yes.
And I think that's where it comes from. It's like some individuals want to take the opportunity. They see something wrong. They go, oh, "This is my moment.
Yes.
This is my moment. I'm going to make this profound statement. That's for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason is. You know.
Yeah.
And that's just not the way. We can't be attacking each other. And so that's been my motto. It's been hard to stick to that.
It is.
There's been many times where I'm like, you know what? I'm so tired of it. I'm going on attack mode. Like, I've had to
calm yourself down.
Calm down and go, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to contribute to.
Yeah. Well, that says a lot about you. That's a lot of self-control. Fred.
And that's what I'm hoping I can lead by example, right?
Right.
I want to lead by example with that. And so,
What's been your hardest challenge with just being on Instagram? It doesn't even have to be necessarily about the war. Before, after, during, just in general, like, you've maintained this role, and I feel like it's a huge burden that you took upon yourself. But what is the most challenging part of all that?
There's so many challenging parts. I'm trying to think what would be the most challenging part.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the most challenging part is, I think the most obvious, is just trying to balance it with your life. Like, as you said, I have a life. I have a family.
Yes.
And this is one of the things that hurt me. That was some of the things that were being said. Like, I did it for the likes and the follows, for the fame. And I'm just like,
stupid. That's so ridiculous, though.
I mean, it is ridiculous, but it's hurtful.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hurtful because you do all this stuff.
And then
it's like, I'm not doing it for the look. I'm not doing it for, like, you don't have to kiss my ass about it.
Yeah.
But then but on the opposite end, to just say, oh, he just did it. He just did it for the likes and the follows.
Yeah.
It hurts because I sacrificed my family. My wife would tell you.
And the time you have.
My wife will tell you.
Yeah.
I sacrificed the family. I sacrificed my business. I took a huge hit on top of COVID.
On top of COVID, yeah, the world.
My business completely, like, shut down. People during the war were messaging me. We're doing all this fundraising and stuff, right?
Right.
And people were messaging me like, Fred, what can we do to help you, right?
Right.
What's your business? What can we do to support you? And I don't know. I don't remember who the people were. They know who they were. They can speak up and say it was me. But I would tell them, I go, thank you. But whatever money that you're intending on spending with me, please donate it. When the time comes, and this is literally what I would always say, when the time comes, when all this is over, I'll need help.
Yes.
Getting back on my feet.
Refer me people.
Yeah, and I'll let you know when that time is. You can help me then.
Right.
But for now, this is what we need. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. That's awesome.
I'm not saying that to like
get more likes and follows.
Right, but I'm kind of like,
yeah.
The point of me even bringing that up is that people are so quick, again, to pass judgment. It's like, you don't know what's going on. Ask.
In my life. You don't know me.
Yeah, you don't know me. But this isn't about me. I'm just saying in general.
Yes,
like when you're attacking another Armenian, you don't know what's happening. You don't know their thinking, that you don't know what's going on in their life. And then sometimes people say things, and the spirit, and they're not, like, let's say, as good as articulating their thoughts as others, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the spirit of what they're trying to say is lost because they didn't articulate it properly.
Mm-hmm. Express themselves.
And so it comes out wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then they're attacked on the way they said it, but don't really care about understanding the spirit of what was trying to be said, right?
Yeah.
Which comes through clarification.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? But it just comes down, like, you know, that it comes from a good place, but then you say it and it's not like perfect. It's not perfectly said, or it leaves out like a detail or something like that. And
When someone says something to you?
no, just in general, when Armenians say stuff, right?
Yes.
They make posts all the time,
Yes.
and then they're attacked for some of the things they say,
Yes.
and it's because they get misunderstood, I guess, on what the intent was versus what was said.
Right, exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it just comes, I think, a lot of times from people just, it's difficult to articulate complex thoughts.
Exactly.
And so some people, when they're trying to say what they're thinking, it comes out.
Yes. Also, if you don't know how the level of sincerity, you wouldn't know from that person if you didn't know them. If I'm watching you say something, I know you, I'm like, oh, that's Fred's body language right there. I know what he's saying. I know it's coming from the heart. Or Christine or whoever, Bolos, Petros.
Right.
They know that if they know that person, they know where that love and sadness and concern is coming from. They're less likely to attack that person if they know their personality. But if they don't know you, then they're gonna be like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Yeah.
Oh, we can cuss?
Yes, we can.
I didn't know that. I'm like trying to be on my best behavior.
No, you can definitely. I just didn't want to say the K word in Armenian earlier.
Oh,
That one's bad. But you can say it.
okay.
You're a guy.
That's funny. Double standards.
No, I know. I just can't bring myself to say
No,
Armenian
don't.
bad words.
Look, double standards are fine. People,
Yeah.
I think, but double standards have a bad rep.
They do.
You know,
They do.
double standards
But
are
I
okay.
put that double standard on myself.
No,
I don't like to say it.
Look.
Oh, աղջիկ ես միասա։
Yeah,
Ես չեմ սիրում
no.
ասեմ հայերեն։
Look, it's
Yeah.
look who's here. I told you she's
Jonah.
gonna come by.
It's
This is
okay.
Volsky. Say hi to Volsky. Nasty,
Sit.
Nasty. You're on camera. Nasty.
There you go.
Presidentkis mortosh. Look like a bloop. You see that? Rub my
is what
belly.
she does?
Rub my belly. Rub my belly.
Has she had babies?
No, she's a puppy.
Oh, okay. Her nipples are huge. I had to.
Keep that one in there.
Seriously.
Okay, good night.
No, mer, kato po
She's gonna start
kiste.
climbing on top of me.
Really? Aww.
So you want me to taste the baklava?
Yes. We're gonna do
Now
the
is it for highest Nazis? Is it baklava or baklava?
we say with the p, highest on
Yeah, I know. That's how I say it, baklava.
Paklava. All right,
Paklava.
this is Liana's Bakery Paklava.
Oh, we're doing a shout out to Liana's Bakery. All right, let's see. I've been eating it already, but we're gonna do this one.
This is the second piece,
This
so
is the
there you
second
know
piece.
it's good.
God, Dude, it is so delicious and rich
Moist.
and dense and moist.
Nice.
I was just telling her I don't really like sweets, but this is bomb. It really is. Like this should be like when you go over to someone's house, you always gotta take this.
Yes. And then they won't regift it for sure.
No, they won't regift it.
There you go. Perfect.
Very good.
You're so cute. I'll press. She'll be so happy. Okay. So we got the paklava. We already finished our coffee. I'm ready for some whiskey. Goliath whiskey.
It's a fun time. We're sold out currently, so I had to pull this from my private stash.
Super private.
Super private. But real quick, so we'll talk about it, I guess, while we're drinking it.
Yes.
And
I
so
love that
the wax top.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to make it like real gritty and manly. You know, like if a gorilla made this, how would it make it? You know.
There you go.
And so
I was saying it's rustic.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the way you open it, and we're refining this. The next level, it'll have a thicker twine back here. This is, I'm finding that people are having a difficult time with
Because it's thin.
the thin one. But you know what you would do? What people usually are trying to unwrap it, but you don't do that. You just grab it nice and tight, and then when you pull up, it just comes right off.
Oh, nice! Look at that.
All right?
Love
and then
it.
we get the wax top. Ura bajakat, let's Here, hold it real quick, and then we're
Sure.
gonna do like how do they do the
Promo.
product?
There you
The
go.
promo like this.
We'll do the slow mo pouring.
There you go.
So it'll.
You've had this before, Che?
Yeah. It's nice.
It's nice and smooth. I mean,
It is
I
smooth.
didn't get a chance to chill it. I forgot. To
I
chill.
like room temperature. Like if I like cognac. I drink Remy. I like it room temperature or kind of on the warmer side. I don't put it over ice. I put gin over ice.
Yeah, I don't like my stuff over ice.
There you go.
Unless like sometimes where it's gonna be a long day and I need to like tone it down and make it last. But yeah, typically over ice I don't like it. You know, there's a certain DJ friend of mine out there that likes it over ice. I won't say his name. Narek.
I remember that one.
But yeah, I typically drink my scotch and whiskeys neat.
Neat. Yes.
Because yeah, I like the flavor, you know, and so
I just like the temperature too.
the temperature, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would prefer it a little on the chill side, not like ice cold, but like chill, you know.
It's very good for someone. I don't drink whiskey, but it is very smooth. It's not burning. I like it a lot. So I'm really happy for you because I know this is a huge passion for you, and I'm all about the passion projects.
Yeah. No, it started off. You know, we were doing a lot of the fundraising efforts and whatnot, and
Oh yeah, where did you even like? And Chi. That's
yeah,
a good question. There you go.
yeah.
And we can light up.
Oh yeah, yes. With the whiskey comes the cigar, and I want to just give a quick shout out to my friend who works for El Septimo Cigars. He's the West Coast regional sales manager for them, and this is a very fine cigar company. It's not Armenian owned company; it's Assyrian owned, but the West Coast regional sales manager is Armenian. You know. And these are like really, really good cigars, not from Cuba, from Costa Rica. El Septimo.
El Septimo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
We'll
then
have their
also-
handle on there.
And also a shout out to Garo Cigars, and who make some fine cigars as well. I just don't have any anymore. I gotta get some
We'll
more.
give a shout out to them too.
Yeah.
We'll add a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a big cigar guy. Fred is a big cigar guy. That's why he has the whiskey. That's why he loves the whiskey. And it's not pretentious. It's just who you are.
This is who I am.
Nobody smokes on my show. So
I was
love,
happy when I was like, "Wait, can we smoke?" And she's
Yes,
like, "Yeah." I'm
yes.
like, "Yes."
That's why I brought you a cigar, and that's why I knew you were gonna have this
I look for reasons to just smoke.
to just smoke. I know.
People go, "Can we meet?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Can we smoke somewhere?
Can we smoke somewhere? And I'm
Yeah.
like, for me, it's like an opportunity to smoke. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's do it.
It's very you.
Yeah. I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. So I quit that, moved on to this.
No more cigarettes, just cigars.
Yeah, just cigars, no more cigarettes. I don't think you could do both.
Yeah, I
When I
wouldn't
was
recommend
a
it.
cigarette smoker, I hated cigars because I'm so used to the
Inhaling. That's what that's what I like, the inhaling part.
Yeah.
So that's why I got these little guys for me, so that I can smoke a cigar with you and enjoy whiskey. But it's hard to train yourself to not inhale.
Yeah. People go, well, you know, what's the difference or how do you smoke it differently? You know, it's with the, oh, sorry about that. Where's my manners? I don't look at
I was like,
Here. I should have lit yours first. I'm so
thank
sorry.
you. It's okay.
I wasn't even thinking. So, you know, people say, well, what's the difference?
Yeah.
You know, and I always say with the cigarette, you suck in the air, you go, right? Whereas with the cigar, it's more of a kiss, you know. So think of like, you know, if you're trying to smoke a cigar, think of like what you do with the mouth when you kiss, right? You go,
Oh, okay.
right?
So just
the,
hold it
the,
right
the
here.
suction, yeah, it comes in it's in the cheeks. You don't inhale it, right? So all the air is in here
Right.
versus
Yes.
versus
There you
sucking
go.
through a straw, right? So think of a straw and a kiss. There you go. That's the difference.
Straw for cigarettes, kiss for
Yep,
cigars.
exactly. So cigar smokers are great kissers.
There you go.
Moral of the story. The Armenian dollar is very, very powerful. I mean, look what we did to Glendale. I remember when Glendale was just dirt, you know,
Yes. Yes.
until the Armenians started moving in there. And now look at it.
It's
you know.
amazing. Yeah.
That just shows.
Yeah.
That just shows how powerful our dollar is, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so, imagine if we're able to keep every Armenian dollar within our circle.
Yes.
Eventually,
Supporting our businesses.
supporting each other, supporting our businesses. Eventually,
course.
that dollar is going to go back to Armenia somehow.
Yes, of course.
It's going
'cause
to trickle back.
we're still sending away
Yeah, you know,
every
so-
chance we get.
So that's good. The longer
Looks
we
really
keep
good.
every dollar within our circle, the more we all benefit from that dollar, the more we
course.
all rise, and eventually it trickles back to Armenia. So that's why I'm always a big proponent of, if you're going to spend money, try to spend it with an Armenian company.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't like the people.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, look,
Yes.
let's say you're going to do business and there's an Armenian. You choose between an Armenian and Otar, but the Armenian is an asshole. You don't like him. Okay, fair enough. But at least you know that money that you give to that Armenian is going to somehow get back into the Armenian community. He's sending his kids to an Armenian school. They
Right.
go shopping at an Armenian grocery store.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
absolutely.
It's we gotta put our egos aside, and support each other. You know, I rather give my money to an Armenian, and know that it's going to come back in our community. It's not
Yes.
just going to stay with that one person.
Yes.
You know.
Exactly.
So, with that idea in mind, I started thinking. I go, okay, well, where are some holes that we can fill? You know, and I started thinking about me, right? I'm like,
Right.
where's my money going? I'm like, man, I smoke a lot of cigars and I drink a lot of whiskey,
Right. Right.
right? And people that would see me on my lives always knew I had a bottle of Macallan with me or whatever,
Right.
and I was always drinking.
Which is what Armenians drink most of the time.
Yeah,
Right.
Macallan. So I was like, well, dude, the whiskey. I was like, man, I spend a lot of money on alcohol and cigars, and that's just money gone. Right? Once you buy that bottle of Macallan, you know, $80, however, you know, depending on which kind you get, 80, 100, 200, right? It's gone.
Right.
It leaves our circle and it's gone forever.
Right. Right. Right.
I was like, well, what if we had our own, right? We have our own, you know, we have our cognac and stuff like that.
We
but
have amazing wine,
we have wine. That's
which we
right.
didn't even know the amount of wine we have. I didn't know until I went to Guinea Fest. I was like, "You're Armenian. You're Armenian. You're
Yeah.
Armenian. That's amazing." Now we need to have more whiskey. We need to have vodka. We need to have tequila. And I know vodka, oh, Russians, tequila, Mexicans, blah, blah. Oh, no, bro. We can do it.
Speaking of, let me give a plug to Mandela. Actually, let me go grab it, yeah? So this is Mandala Tequila, right? And I was a big, I just threw it on the floor. I was a huge fan of theirs. I tried it out. I went to Mission Liquor and I bought it and I tried it. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? I love it. Like seriously, it's like one of the best tequilas I've ever had. And then I found out later, it's half Armenian owned, the partnership.
Okay.
One of them's Armenian. He's the same guy that he also owns Gaucho Grill.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Armenian owned. And then I reached out to him, Kirk. They had me come over, and I even did a live tasting with it and everything. It was one of my
Nice.
previous lives. So, if you're gonna buy tequila, guys, support Mandala Tequila. Stays in the Armenian circle, half of it at least, right? And then, you know, and that, coming back to my point, since I'm a whiskey Scotch drinker, I was like, well, what if I had my own Scotch or whiskey? That would be amazing, right? It's mine. It's made the way I like it, the way it tastes for me,
Right.
and it's something for our community. And then I was like, well, okay, that keeps the dollar within our circle, but it still didn't answer the question of the money coming back to Armenia, the donations. So I was like, okay, what if we made it so that, I was thinking, what came to mind, the Tom's shoes. You remember Tom's?
Right. You would buy shoes and then it would go to a impoverished child in need.
Exactly. You buy shoes and in turn it buys another pair of shoes for children
Yeah.
in poverty. And so that's what I was thinking of. I was like, what can I do? I was like, well, how about from every bottle that's sold, a certain percentage gets donated back to a nonprofit that's helping,
Exactly. And which nonprofit did you choose?
It's going to change.
It's going to change all the time.
It's going to change all the time,
Okay,
right?
Good. So it spreads out.
It spreads out. Now, I was thinking like it can even be a community effort where the community votes for who to donate, X amount to,
Give you an idea of somebody new maybe you haven't heard of before.
Yeah, or give an option like, here's these 5 orgs.
Yes.
Who should we help or something like that. I want to make sure the community is involved with that decision making.
Of course. I love that.
Initially, the first nonprofit is obviously going to be for miasin.org, the nonprofit that I personally am involved with.
Right.
We do a lot of amazing things. And so the first bit will be going to them. And actually, a lot of it, even though we're in the beginning stages, a lot of the money I've made for the crowdfunding, I've actually donated back because of like stuff has been brought up,
Right.
which wasn't part of the plan, but it doesn't matter. Because we're not officially launched yet, right? I'm not in the stores yet. And so the idea is that, a certain percentage was going to be donated back.
Absolutely.
And so I started thinking, I was like, well, I hate it when people say, portion of the, when they keep it vague, portion of the proceeds, some of the proceeds.
Yeah.
Like, well, how much?
How
right?
much?
How much?
Yeah.
And
There's
so,
a difference between 2 and 20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to make it something vague. I said, I'm going to give a concrete number, $20 from every bottle that's sold is going to get donated back. Now that obviously increases costs of everything.
Of
that has to be worked in. But
we spend an arm and a leg on almost everything. So
exactly.
Why not?
I mean, we already spend that money.
Exactly.
Buy a whiskey that I think you will enjoy. So far, I've heard nothing but good things about it. I think everyone's been genuine in their response.
Reviews. Yeah. Absolutely.
I personally love it. We went through rounds and rounds of testing and mixing and came out with my favorite, blend that goes fantastic with the cigar. And when it's finally in stores, it even has the Armenian flag, so that when you see it on the shelf, you know what it's for.
Exactly. So since we're plugging, we did a few plugs with your cigar, the tequila, your whiskey. You're a huge supporter of Armenian businesses, like you mentioned. I also want to personally thank you and give a shout out to you and your marketing and graphics team. My aunt and I reached out to you, for the viewers so they know, over a month ago, and we told you that we're working on a project called Delta. The technology is being made in Armenia and here. It was founded and started in Armenia, and the science and the chemistry behind it is really, really life-changing. It's going to be huge. And so when we needed the logo to be made for Delta Plant Systems, we came to you, and you delivered above and beyond. My father and aunt are the CEOs and founders of this company, and I'm so glad it was in your hands, because one day in the not too distant future, when it becomes absolutely massive, I want you to be so proud to have had a part in making this happen. And that Delta symbol is the eternal Armenia symbol.
Yeah, we when I was speaking with Rita, your aunt, she was adamant about including the eternity symbol somehow, and incorporating that with the idea of the delta, the symbol of change in math and science. And so we developed, I think, a very classy, elegant logo that I think works for what they were looking for. So yeah, that's, people always ask, what do you do for a living? And I've kept that off of Instagram because
you never know.
You never know, and I'm not out there trying plugging myself. People that know reach out to me. But yeah, what I do for a living is I own a small little group we're a design, advertising, and marketing company.
Right.
We do everything from logo development, web development, social media, SEO, all that stuff. Been doing it for over 20 years now.
Amazing.
Started it when I was in college.
Nice.
Doing party flyers.
Yeah, you would. I know.
Seriously, that's
Yeah.
that's we're in I'm in a
The
fraternity.
90s house parties.
No house parties.
Like party?
Big no. So yeah, my fraternity, we would rent these big venues. We would get like top-notch DJs, get alcohol sales permits, all this stuff. We'd do it big. At the time, we were like, our parties were like the shit.
Yeah.
We would get like 800 to 1,000 people at the parties. And charging like $20 to get in. This is like when raves were like a thing around that time, and so we're in the meeting, and we're like, well, we need a flyer. Who can design a flyer? And I was like, I think my computer came with some program. I didn't study design. I never took a design class or anything. Like I said, my degree's in psychology. And I was like, I think my computer came with a program. I think I can whip something up.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, go for it, And so I went and stayed up all night long, kind of like what I do now, right? It's always been
that way.
That way with me.
Yeah.
I literally stayed up all night long through the night and designed something. I have the design. It's horrible. But at the time, we're like, this is amazing.
I know.
This is the shit. Hell yeah. I used like literally 30 different fonts on there. I mean, every font that I could get my hands on was on there. And so.
What was that program we used to use when we were kids with the little like
Paint?
Yeah,
Microsoft
Paint.
Yeah.
Paint. Did you use Paint?
No, it came. Like when you buy a printer, it used to come like a photo thing so that you could set up your photos. It was literally that. It was like a free program that came with my printer.
Oh my God.
I think it was called like Photo Deluxe or something like that. So.
Well, you've come a long way, my friend.
I did that, and we're like the first fraternity that had color flyers. Right? No one had color flyers back then. It was like the first. And so other fraternities
Check
and
out
sororities,
my flyer in color.
Dude, everyone went crazy. They're like, who did this? Who made this? And then so like other fraternities started coming up to me to make their stuff. And it just grew. It was just crazy how it just naturally just grew.
That's awesome.
And that's what I've been doing since.
That fucking aged us so much right now, right?
I know, we aged us so bad.
Yeah.
It's all good. Everyone's doing their part. It's all, I never know how to respond when people always,
compliment you.
Yeah, people always come up and it's like I don't think I'm doing
my job.
anything.
Yeah.
I'm just doing what I think that I should be doing.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I get sometimes. Like the other day when we met at the meet and greet, this lady came up. I've never seen her. She's like, I watch your show. It's so great. Thank you for what you do. And I genuinely love it so much. And the more random it is, the more sincere it is, because they just like stop you. It's usually at the Americana, but because I mean, who else is gonna recognize me? But it feels really good when you do the work that you love, and I know you love your work, as taxing as it may be emotionally,
it's what
time-wise,
keeps me going.
it keeps you going. Yeah.
Look, if I'm being real, there's days where I just want to stop.
Yeah.
I
don't know how you do it, man.
There's days where I'm just like, why am I doing it? Like when you feel.
And you comment on everything. You respond. You're in the comments.
I know. I can't
all
help
the time.
it. I can't help it.
I don't know how you do it.
I tell myself, just stay out.
Just stay out of it.
Just stay out of it. Just stay out of it. But I think for a parting subject, what I would like to talk about is moving forward. Right?
Yes. What do you want to see moving forward?
I want to let people know, look, there's a lot of good things happening, but bad news travels fast, and people like talking about bad news.
Yes.
They don't really like talking about good news.
Yes.
There's a lot of good things that are happening.
Yes.
You just don't hear about them that often.
Exactly.
So, when we hear about the bad things, we think everything is bad. And everything is not bad. Yes, there's a lot of bad. Yes. But there's a lot of good.
Good too.
And
you know what? The bad news travels halfway around the world before the good news has time to put on its pants.
Yes.
And I got a taste of that.
And it's not about being like unrealistically optimistic, like, oh, don't worry about the bad. No,
Yes.
you learn from the bad.
Yes, absolutely.
We take that and we look forward because we know who we are and what we're made of, right? We know we're fighters. We know what we're capable of. But if all we do is focus on the negative, we're not
Yes.
walking anymore. If
Exactly.
we stand up and we're looking at the thing we tripped over and
Yeah.
getting mad at the rock that we just tripped over and we're all just gathered around pointing at that rock,
Yes.
guess what we're not doing? We're not walking.
moving forward. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, we saw the rock. We get it.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's keep walking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep walking. And so that's one thing I've been trying to change on my part is there's always going to be bad news, and everyone likes to talk about the bad news. Oh, look at this bad news. Look at that bad news.
Yes.
Unless it's like critical, I try not to focus on it, and I try to bring forth, like, look at the good things we're doing, because the good
Right.
things is what inspires you.
Exactly.
When you're constantly being subjected to negative, you get what's called learned helplessness. Okay, there's a psychological term, learned helplessness.
Right.
Okay, they took animals, unfortunately, and they put them in cages, and they would electric shock them.
Yeah.
Okay, and initially, when you electric shock a cage, what is an animal going to do? It's going to react and get all crazy and
Yes.
fight, right?
Yes, of course.
They repeatedly shock the cages. You know what the animal does after a while?
Submit.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It just sits
Submits.
there.
Yeah.
It just submits. It
Yeah.
learned to be helpless.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, and this is what a lot of people do in their regular personal lives. When we let the negatives beat us down,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what I want to prevent us from. And this is the cancer, and I'm using that word specifically because it is a cancer.
Mm-hmm.
The negativity is a cancer. We let the negativity, the negative news beat us down and
Yes.
define us.
Yes,
And we're not
exactly.
defined by that.
Exactly.
And as a community, I'm seeing a lot of learned helplessness. Like, oh, what does it matter anyway? They're gonna do this.
X, Y, and Z,
They're
yeah.
gonna do that anyway. What does it matter? Why are you even bothering anymore? We don't need that. We don't need this.
yeah.
And that is learned helplessness. Okay? Just because it didn't work the last time, or it hasn't been working, like with the protests. Why are you protesting? Right? People, it was embarrassing. Right? Everyone goes, oh, we love our POWs. We want our POWs back. But, you know, the last protests we did for the POWs, like 30 of you came.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where were you? Like,
Well, they
let's talk
feel
about
defeated.
that. It's helplessness.
yeah.
Yes, the protests, you feel like they don't work. But what if they do? What if that one day you're protesting,
It helps.
there's one guy walking by that's some guy from somewhere and can do something, and
Yeah.
you don't know. You don't know. When you hear about people's success stories, it's always some like random thing that happened that sparked it all,
Right.
right? And so if you do nothing, nothing will happen. The more things you do, the more opportunities you have for one of those things to do something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you can't ever stop trying.
Of course.
Don't worry about it. If it didn't work, that's fine. Keep doing it. Keep
Yes.
going. The only time you lose is when you stop trying.
Of course. Absolutely.
That's when you truly lost. And so it's become very heartbreaking for me, with the protests, not seeing people come out. And I get why.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming them. I get it. It's hard. Dude, it's hard for me to go out there and, I'm on the megaphone and there's like 10 people around. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's just,
Yeah.
imagine from my perspective, right? I'm not seeing people. It's easy for me to go,
Well,
fuck it.
fuck it. Yeah.
No one cares, so I'm not going to care.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
been moments where that cancer comes into my mind, like, why am I doing this?
Yes. Exactly. I know.
But then I get those DMs, or I get the people coming up to me and saying, thank you so much for doing this. It's helping, this and that.
Yes.
And those words of inspiration that I get,
Exactly.
it's
Fuels
literally
you.
what keeps me going.
Exactly.
I'm like, there's people out there that are silent, that I don't hear, that care.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I can't let the people that are most vocal, that are usually the negative naysayers, affect me. And that's what really keeps me going is the words of encouragement that I get from my people.
That's awesome.
I
You're
love
so
my
sweet.
people.
I know.
And I'll continue fighting for as long as I can. That's all I can do. I'm going to do the best that I can do, and I hope everyone else is doing the best they can do. And
that's all we can hope for. And
by
honestly,
example.
there are a lot of people who really truly love and support you and look for you for guidance or for support or for motivation. You are a motivational person, and they look for you in times of need, and also they feel comfort from you when you post something funny, and they feel comfort from you when you're informative. You're that person for us, and I love that about you, and that's one of the reasons why since day one I was like, Fred, we got to do an episode just for you, because you've done a lot. You have sustained this amazing reputation within the Armenians here. You have a huge following. People from not just Los Angeles, but all around the world follow you. And let me just say it for the record. This person is doing it out of the goodness of his heart. And does it feel good to get that pat on the back? Yes, absolutely. But it's not for anything other than just being there and supporting and loving and saying, hey guys, come on, like, look at it this way or look at it that way, and being that voice of reason. And I think that's really what you have been and will continue to be.
I hope. First of all, thank you.
Yeah. And you've supported me so much.
Well, you're one of the first people to ever reach out to me.
Yeah.
And give me a platform to help get the message out. So I appreciate that, Christine.
Of course.
And I don't forget the people that
gave you that voice.
I don't want to say it's not about me. I don't want to make it about me, but just the people that are trying to do their part.
Yes.
You're doing your part.
Yes.
You get
and
what
we
I'm
can
saying?
help each other do our part.
And that's the thing. Like, the pat on the back, I always feel some kind of way about it, like
Yeah.
I'm just doing my part. Like, yes, it feels good to feel appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel guilty sometimes, like, boy, I don't feel like I deserve any pats on the back. I'm just doing
My
what
job.
I think I should be doing.
Right.
And I just hope that everyone else is doing
their part. Exactly. Exactly.
We need educators. We need health professionals. We need
Filmmakers.
military. We need filmmakers. We need musicians, artists,
Absolutely.
athletes.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So the message moving forward is support each other, people. Support each other. Stop looking for ways to cut each other down. That's easy. You can always find something to criticize someone on.
Yes.
Always. There's never a shortage.
Of course.
That's easy to do. You're not special for finding a fault.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Instead,
Thank you.
try and look for the good in people and build that up. The more you build that up,
Better
when
for you and better for all of us collectively.
it is better for all of us. And the reason that is because if someone sees me, let's say, building you up for the positive things you're doing, they're going to feel inspired to do the same.
Exactly.
But if people see that no matter what Christine does, she's getting chopped down, or what Fred does, he's getting chopped down, that's going to be like, they're going to say, well, I'm not going to do anything. They're going to chop me down.
Exactly. Yes. And you know what? At the end of the day, I don't care who it is. Like, one thing that I've heard from non-Armenians is like, wow, you motherfuckers stick together. Like, you guys band together. Even though we might have some animosity or even hatred. I hate using that word. I hate using the word hate. But we come together in the time of need, and we prove that. We need to continue to do that.
100%. And that's a good point you brought up. When the outsider's looking in.
Yes, I
they
have a lot
see-
of people who say that.
I have a friend who's black, and he said something to me that was just like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Yeah. He goes, he's like, man, he goes, I'm jealous of you guys. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, the way you guys like stick together and are like supporting each other. He's outside looking in. He doesn't see the internal problems, right?
Exactly.
And then he goes, you guys have a flag. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, we don't have a flag. He goes, what's our flag?
Yeah.
The United States flag, the flag of our oppressor. And I know that's a touchy subject, but
yeah.
think
but
about
I can
it,
understand where he's coming
understand
from.
where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Armenians living in Turkey
And having to show that flag.
and having to show that flag. Like, think about it.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
having to be proud of the Turkish flag. You know, imagine living in
That
Turkey.
literally makes me cringe.
You know,
Yeah.
the black person's plight here, which I think this is again a very sensitive subject in our community. I know they don't get the understanding. Black people don't get the understanding that they should from a lot of the Armenian community. There's a lot
Yes.
that support, but a lot that don't get it. You know, and I always try and tell them, I go, it's like if we lived in Turkey, we have to live by Turkish laws, Turkish teachers, Turkish police officers, Turkish everything. And now imagine being an Armenian living in Turkey and you see a Turkish cop beating an Armenian guy.
Yes.
How would that feel? I mean, we saw that one time and we're in the streets,
Yes.
right? And so, anyway, I don't want to go too far off, but you know, there's these parallels that we can't be blind to see.
Exactly.
You know, and he's back to his point though. He was like, "You guys have a flag, you have a language, you have a culture." He goes, "I don't have any of that." Right? Like, he goes, "What's our flag?" He goes, "I don't even know where I'm from.
Yeah.
What's my language? I speak English. That's not my mother language." He goes, "So us black people, we're creating our new culture," he says, right? We have this new culture that we created here in the U.S. They can't relate to Africans.
True.
They don't even, a lot of Africans don't even accept them. You know, they have their own internal conflict, you know?
Yes, exactly.
And so
We're very different. We're very, very pushed aside for that reason, but at the same time, it's a blessing and it's a curse.
well, the point I was making is
Yeah.
that we always bring up the Jewish people and go, "Oh, look how they're doing it," right? We look at them and think everything's like perfect with them. No. They have the same problems we do. Everything always looks better from the outside looking in.
Of course. Yeah.
We have so many things to be proud of. Be proud and focus on the positive things and don't focus on negative things.
Exactly.
And it's not about being unrealistically optimistic. It's about whatever you put your attention on, that's what will grow.
Absolutely.
So if you focus on the negative, you'll just breed more negativity. If you focus on the positive, that's what will grow. So
Exactly.
let's focus on building and working together and,
Yes.
and dialogue and not cut each other down. And I think we'll be fine. The diaspora is powerful. And I said when the first time we did God, what did you call it? The Diasporan Diaries. When we did that, I said, I can't wait to see what the diaspora does. We're
Yes.
coming together and we're seeing parts of it. A lot of it is not being advertised because it's sensitive, but I see a lot of very, very good things happening.
Yes.
And we just have to keep supporting that.
Absolutely. That's a great way to wrap things up. Fred, thank you. You're a huge voice of reason. You do practice what you preach. I have to tell you that. So thank you. Cheers to you and all the work you did, and cheers to our people. And I hope that we continue to stick together and lead by example as you are doing all the time. So until next time, thank you for joining us on Candid Coffee.
Thank you guys.
There you go.
Okay, nuts.
Okay, nuts. I'll take a sip.